Hello, friends. Thanks for joining us. Do us a huge favor. Smash that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. We've had great growth for the past couple weeks. Benny, how can they find us on social media?
Yeah, you can find us at Ray Benny Sports. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Check us out also on Reddit and Discord. And don't forget, leave us a rating on your favorite podcast provider.
And special shout out to show sponsor Fahrenheit Airbrushing. Stand out on the ice, pavement field, or in the stands with a custom airbrushed helmet, goalie mask, or any type of project. A local Manitoba business with affordable solutions. Check out Fahrenheit Airbrushing on Facebook or call them at 204-891-7431.
And don't forget to tell them that Ray and Benny sent you.
Let's get right into it. The Bombers play the Argos at home away. Let's get into the Bomber blueprint. Offense, defense, special teams. What do they have to do to win? Let's start with offense. My tune isn't going to change too much from last week, and this is kind of riffing off of the end of last week's game. They just have to get that running game going early and commit to it early. I know it's going to be tough. Toronto's one of the better teams against the run, but we saw that it's not like Taylor Ellersma came into the game and him as an option made the running game better. They clearly, as the player being called and as a team, committed to making the running game run. It was bully ball all over again because they decided they had to commit to the run to keep this young quarterback safe. So no matter who starts the game on Friday, whether it be Zach Caleros, maybe Drew Brown, I don't know, Taylor Elgersma, possibly. If you had to put all your money on it right now, who do you think is going to be starting?
I got to go with Drew Brown. Obviously, Zach hasn't practiced, but they're just calling in a neck injury, and O'Shea is sounding like Zach could play, but I guess they usually do that. They usually don't come out and give out information that we need, and we're not going to get the depth chart till tomorrow. So, I'm going to roll with Drew Brown.
I think so. I think it'll be Drew Brown. And even then, you got to commit to the run. And the great thing, if you commit to the run early and establish that run, you will get a nice play action going. And this Argo team has been susceptible to giving up big plays. I think they've given up the most 30-plus yard passes in the league. So if you can get that play action going, maybe a little rollout action. If Drew Brown is playing, then you have options down the field for the big plays for the Bombers because they have depth at receiver still. And they got to use that depth and take advantage of it against Toronto.
Yeah, I kind of agree there. And again, the best way to attack this Toronto D right now is through the air. Like you were saying, they've actually been pretty good against the run. Number 2 in yards against the run, but last in yards given up on in the air. They've given up the most yards on defense. They've given up the most points on defense. So the Bombers really need to find that sweet spot and start attacking it. Because obviously Chad Kelly, we're going to talk about this in a second, has had a very good start to the season, and the Toronto offense for the most part has had a very good start. I know they gave up 58 against Calgary there, so that's a huge chunk of points. But yeah, you got to get at this team, and yeah, maybe it does involve getting Brady Oliveira going early so you can open up that throwing game. And it depends who starts. If you got Drew Brown, he should have some experience with this offense. He's played with Tommy Condell before. He's played with some of these receivers before, and now maybe you can use the downfield a little bit more with Tim White or Ontario Wilson with that Drew Brown arm, and just limit the mistakes, really, right? Because again, that's what Elgersma did well last week. He limited any mistakes. He didn't put the ball in harm's way, and he did what he did what he had to do to help the Bombers get that victory.
Yeah, he didn't have to do much.
No, and I'm looking at it, and Hamilton's D is actually pretty good. They've given up the least points in the league, and there are less yards in the league too. So it's not like they're a bad defense. So it's a tough place to come in on the road playing a tough defense when you've never played in the CFL before.
Yeah, and let's not overplay it. The Bomber offense did not have a good game either.
No,
the Hamilton defense came as advertised.
Yes, the Bombers just had the worst QB. I don't know if that's probably
got the most amount of least yards.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that Bomber defense. What do they have to do to stop this pretty potent Toronto offense, who is undefeated when they score 40 points?
Yeah, it's been some crazy points with these Toronto games, eh? Like
Yeah.
looking at they've given up, they've scored a lot, they've given up a lot too. It's going to be tough. Um, again, Toronto's running game not great, but Samuel Hicks does have a 6.1 yard per carry. He
Yeah.
just hasn't had as many runs, and he hasn't had to because this aerial offense is going to be quite the test for this Bomber defense, and they're going to have to get pressure on Chad Kelly, and they're going to have to bring Chad down. One thing is Chad's doing is throwing a lot of interceptions. He's at 8, but he's
Yeah.
also got 4 receivers over 200 yards. And then you got Kevin Meitel, who's at about 350, who's the focal point of that offense, basically. So it's going to be a great test for this Bomber D. Got to get pressure on Chad Kelly and make him make mistakes.
Moxie is going to have more opportunities to
Coxie,
get interceptions.
Oh, Moxie.
And he is always on people's hips. He just loses those one-on-one catches. So he will have opportunities to get turnovers, and the Bombers need to get turnovers bad. Not only do they get do they give up a lot of second down conversions, they don't get a lot of turnovers, which also keeps offenses on the field. And Toronto loves those long drives. They'll take whatever they give you and keep it going and use a little bit of Chad Kelly's athleticism to move the pocket and get a couple of more yards just because he can rush. He's a great athlete. I keep forgetting how good of an athlete he is. But the Bombers, for some reason, in the second quarter, they give up a lot of points. They've given up 51, some of the most in the league. And then when they come out of halftime, they've given up 0.
Wasn't it the complete opposite last year?
Huh?
Wasn't it the opposite last year where the third quarter was their worst quarter?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like there's something
So
about that second
but
quarter where they figure out the D line, they totally stop the pass rush, which they have to find ways to get in Chad Kelly's face. Because when he is using his athleticism to his benefit, he's unstoppable. But when he's panicking, especially on second and longs, that's when he starts throwing those interceptions. So, and they will have opportunities to get second long. Bombers are good on first down. And Toronto, like you said, they don't have a consistent running game. So I think that just Bombers find a way to get to the quarterback. How about blitzing early? You don't see the Bombers blitz early often. So maybe throw some of that so at least they're looking for the blitz. You don't have to use it. It doesn't have to be 100% successful, but at least throw some options so it's not a vanilla 4-3 where you don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the Bombers only seem to blitz when they kind of need to blitz.
Right.
They don't late in that Hamilton game they kind of blitzed, and late in the Elks game. But when earlier in the game, it's like they don't do it very often. And you know what? We've been all over this Bomber defense, but I've been actually looking at stats, and their stats are not that bad compared to the rest of the league. They're top in a lot of these things, or one or two in a lot of these things. A lot of these stats. It's just one of the big ones you said is turnovers. That's where they need to start producing more and give Bombers offense shorter fields.
And the Bombers turning the ball over. Like
Yes.
Teams getting shorter fields. That's why the Bombers defense doesn't have to give up a lot of yards because their teams get shorter fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already covered Samuel Hicks. That's great. Special teams. Still Sergio Castillo has to just be a little more consistent. These Bomber games and Toronto games have been one score games.
Yeah, there've been a lot of low, ugly scored games, right?
Well, this past one was really
playing
low. 14-13 is like, woof. That's NFL week 1 kind of stuff.
Thursday night football.
Yeah. Oh, God.
NFL Thursday night football.
Get rid of that. Horrible football. Yeah. Sergio Castillo, more consistency. And I think Vaval might have an opportunity to break a kickoff, especially against Argos kickoff cover team. Maybe not for a touchdown, but a good 30, 40 yarder flip the field kind of return.
Yeah, it should be a good battle out there between Janarian Grant and Trey Vavel. Both two dangerous guys. We know Janarian Grant can do also, right? So it'll be fun to watch. And right now, just looking at it, what's his name? John Haggerty, punter for the Argos, actually has the best average in the league. Jamison Sheehan, not too far behind. I guess 4 yards behind, so it's a little bit different. But so that's going to be huge. And again, field position battle is always big. So whatever punter can pin the guy and whatever returner can make something happen out of that's going to be a big difference. And then Toronto's got Liam Huralahu. Finally can say his name properly.
There you go. Well, time.
So it should again two good kickers on both sides too. So I don't
Well,
see much of a change here or much of a difference between these two special teams units, I guess, in terms of kickers and returners, but
that's
just depends how the coverage team
63%,
feels.
64% field goals does not look good on the stat line right now for Sergio Castillo.
No, I'll give him the benefit. Those were two longer ones. In the last one last week, he slipped, right?
Did slip. Yeah.
So
Oof.
I'll give him a little bit, but yeah, Liram, what's Liram at?
He has those goggles on though.
Don't have it up here right now.
He had those goggles on.
Those are new, right?
Those are old school. That's great. No, he wore them in previous seasons, I think, but this is the first time he's brought them out this season. I'm pretty sure.
I saw that last week or last game, and I'm like, "What the heck's happening here? Did I miss something?"
Yeah, we're back in the 70s. Bomber fans, what are your thoughts on the Bomber Blueprint? What do they got to do to get the win at home away? Let's look at some QB Power 4 rankings, top 4 QBs in the league. Let's start at number 4. At number 4, I have who the Bombers are playing. Chad Kelly leads the league in touchdowns, leads the league in yards, but also has a 12-8 TD to INT ratio. So I'll knock him down a bit from some really good QB play across the league. So I have Chad Kelly at 4.
Yeah, I'm not going to put Chad Kelly in my top 4, but I'm going to start with Vernon Adams just because of the interceptions for Chad Kelly. A lot of yards, but too many mistakes. Vernon Adams at number 4 for me came on really good, obviously last week or his last game, I guess. It was last week, I guess.
Yeah,
so.
He went crazy
with his 7 TDs.
Yeah,
no interceptions this year so far. Probably could have put him number 3 even, but I'll stick him at number 4.
Talking about number 3, Vernon Adams, that's who I have number 3 because of all those reasons. An impressive 136 passing efficiency, only behind, I think, Bo Levi Mitchell. 11 TDs, 0 interceptions is wild. And then throw in another 2 touchdowns with his legs. So I have him in the top 3. Finally.
Number 3, I'm going with Nathan Rourke. Not the greatest start to the season. Still has almost as much yards as some of these top guys with 1,400, just over 1,400. Where he's suffering too is the TD to interception ratio, which is only 5-4. But he's had some good runs out there. And he played a lot better last game and he's had a lot of receivers out so far to start this season. So I got Nathan Rourke at number 3.
So if there was an MOP award right now, and it was Nathan Rourke and Chad Kelly, who would win it?
I guess Nathan Rourke for me. I mean, it's Chad Kelly's got 12 TDs, but 8 interceptions, right? And their yards are only about 80 yards off.
And he's winning.
Hey?
And he's winning.
Well, Chad Kelly's 2-2, is he not? BC's 1-3.
Yeah.
Is Toronto 2-2?
Yes, they lost their first one. Oh no. Yes, because Montreal's 3-1.
He also threw how many interceptions did he throw in that one game? Chad Kelly. Who did they play? Against Saskatchewan. No, they beat Saskatchewan.
Ooh,
what team? Maybe that was that game where he still threw a bunch of interceptions in that game.
Who do you have at number 2?
I'm going to go with Trevor Harris, Old Man Harris. Very good start to the season for him as well, and protecting that ball with 10 TDs to 2 interceptions. So Old Man is doing fairly well for himself.
At number 2, I have Davis Alexander, second in the league in passing yards, 0 interceptions to 7 TDs. A little low on the TD count, considering his top 2 receivers are in the top 3, I think. Slinging the ball around with the most attempts too. So it's Snead and Philpott in the top 3, yes?
Yep.
Dang.
Let's just double check here for sure.
So yeah, I have him at number 2. And my number 1 will be Trevor Harris. He's at 115 efficiency, 5-1 TD to interception ratio, almost 72% accuracy. That's crazy. Trevor Harris, I got him at number 1 on mine.
So Philpott is number 1, Snead is number 4. Keyshawn Johnson is 2, and Keon Schaefer-Baker is number 3. So
crazy.
I got Davis Alexander at number 1 on my side. Yes, low TDs at 7 so far, but no interceptions. limiting his mistakes. He's second in yardage, 9.6 average. So yeah, he lost his first regular season game earlier this year, but he's still the man.
There you go.
And just a side note, Bo Levi would have been in this top four if he did not get hurt.
He would have been number one.
Probably is.
Oh, hands down.
Yes. Where was he at? Well, yeah, 9 TDs, one interception.
His efficiency was like at 150 something, wasn't it?
132, it says right now.
Oh, isn't that so? It was Vernon Adams then.
136, it says
Oh,
here.
that's right. So I was right. I thought he had more than Vernon Adams. Maybe that was a team QB efficiency rating. Either way, CFL fans, give us your power four, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Let's continue on with some more CFL talk. Who is a must start and who is a must sit in CFL fantasy football this week? Let's go. Let's start with start. I'm going to start Justin Rankin because he's playing the Red Blacks and they are horrible. And I'm sure he's really hungry for a redemption game. And again, the Red Blacks aren't any good. This could be a 100-100 game for him, rushing and then receiving.
Yeah, I have to go with the same guy. There's no way I'm not starting Rankin this week. Ottawa's a mess. Dinwiddie's losing it already. The guy's already rattled. Losing it on his punter who made the worst attempt at a tackle last week.
That was brutal.
I don't blame Dinwiddie either, because when I saw that attempt, I was like, dude, I would have cut you probably right in the spot.
Oh my gosh, that was horrible. Who are you sitting?
Well, talking about quarterbacks and their efficiency, I'm going to go out there and say Vernon Adams. I'm going to sit him against this Montreal defense. I feel like this is one of those games where the other Vernon Adams is going to show up and the not so very good Vernon Adams against this kind of defense.
I guess we know who you have for Calgary, Montreal. I'm going to sit Larry Roundtree, the running back from Hamilton. He actually went crazy against the Bombers. Like he broke 120. But I don't think he's eclipsed 100 since then. And without Bo Levi Mitchell, you're just keying on the guy. And now you're starting what? Dogie?
No, Dogala is starting.
Dogala, that's
but Dogie is signed now.
So he might not even break 30 yards. So I'm going to sit Larry Roundtree this week.
And the funny thing is, when Roundtree was running last week late in the game, he was actually having some good runs. But then again, they did the same as the Bombers and kind of went away from it instead of sticking with it.
Yeah.
Whereas the Bombers finally stuck with it on that one drive.
Ugh.
Did Hamilton, I can't remember now, did Hamilton sign Trey Ford before Powell left? Or was it vice versa? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Powell just
was a free agent. Trey Ford was traded for his rights to negotiate first, wasn't he?
Was he?
I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm talking out of my ass.
It's interesting to me because a lot of people are touting that Powell's a very good QB. Like we haven't seen much of him, but he's done decent, and so it's interesting to me that you would have went after Trey Ford to be your number 2.
Yeah.
And now you're not even starting him.
Milanovic thought he was a QB whisperer. He thought he could take anything and just transform.
Look how long it took Bo Levi to actually start playing well. Like Bo Levi got benched by Milanovic, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, and then once he figured that out, you're expecting Trey Ford to figure that offense out right away? Nah, I don't think so. So
let's move on to some CFL predictions. 4 games on the, what was I going to say, docket?
On the tilt? Oh, no, that doesn't sound good either.
On the docket.
On the docket.
Let's start off with Ottawa at Edmonton. Who do you got?
I got to go with the Elks. Like we just talked about, Ottawa right now, they're rattled. Dinwiddie's losing it. And Edmonton has played well for the most part this season. And like you say, Rankin's probably going to go crazy. So Edmonton.
I agree. No need to stomp on Ottawa anymore. Toronto at Winnipeg at Toronto. It does really depend on who's quarterback, unfortunately, in this situation, only because Zach Collaros, if it is a neck head injury, I think you really got to be cautious with that. So if Brown's in, I actually might give the Bombers a little bit better chance to win, but I'm going to take Toronto to beat Winnipeg in Winnipeg at Toronto.
I say you said, like you said, sit Zach. It's week 5 or week 6, right?
Week 6.
And it's only their 5th game. So you got lots of games to go. It's the CFL. You're always in it, pretty much right to the end. If Drew Brown is playing, I'm going with the Bombers. If Elgersma is playing, I'd probably pick Toronto. If this was actually in Toronto, I would pick Toronto probably outright, no matter who's at quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think the Bomber offense should be able to, put some points up on the board. And the defense, I think they're going to give up a lot of yards, and hopefully they can hold Toronto to some field goals. But I'll pick the Bombers.
So it might be a game where the defense steps up.
Well, I mean,
the D-line
we saw it last week, right? Even with Bo Levi. Yes, he had 230 yards, but he only had 13 points.
The points, yeah, exactly. They weren't giving up the touchdowns.
And one touchdown was almost a gift where they started.
A crazy one. That was crazy. That was skill. That was a gift. That was a take.
Like you said, Moxie's there, but he's just getting beaten.
Yeah, he's got to get an interception. He's got to take at least half of those now. Calgary at Montreal. I'm going to go with Montreal only because home field advantage. They've been also in mostly one-score games. So I'm going to go Montreal.
Yeah, when it was Montreal, I'll go with my number 1 QB and Davis Alexander over my number 4 QB and Vernon Adams. And my must-sit Vernon Adams. I'm going to be wrong on
Nathan
that.
Rourke in the top 4. He's having a horrible start to the season.
His numbers aren't terrible for having a bunch of receivers out.
Yeah, but we can't go just numbers. We're looking at it. The proof is in the pudding there. You can get numbers late in the game all the time.
I just did. Chad Kelly, to me, yes, he's got some numbers, but also got 8 interceptions.
But he's always like that.
In 4 games.
Yeah. It's Chad Kelly era.
Hopefully he gets 4 more tomorrow.
Well, yeah.
Friday, I mean.
Friday night football tomorrow, the day after.
I guess when you're listening to this, it will be.
Hamilton at Saskatchewan. Who you got?
I got to go with Saskatchewan here. Jake Dogala does not do it for me. And we did talk Hamilton's D has played well, but it's going to be under a lot of pressure with that offense that can't really move the ball. So Saskatchewan.
No Bo, no chance.
No.
CFL fans.
You know what? Earlier in the year, we talked about probably no crossover happening. That could happen again if Hamilton doesn't figure out that QB position.
We'll see. CFL fans, what are your predictions this week? Who wins and why? Don't forget, smash that subscribe button. It helps the channel grow. We can't thank y'all enough. Benny, you have anything to say to our friends?
Yeah, thanks a lot for listening. Don't forget, subscribe, follow, and go Bombers, go.
And in the words of Ed Whalen, in the meantime and in between time, that's it. Another edition of Ray and Benny Talk Sports.
Hey, friends and neighbors, don't forget to check us out online on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Ray Benny Sports. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you think.